I'm going to start this off by saying I really love a lot of the people at Blizzard. Okay? There are great community managers that have been so thoughtful and so nice, and have gone out of their way for me, and I really appreciate all of them. They are super cool. A lot of the people that work at Blizzard are super cool, and I do appreciate them. And that's not for please invite me again. They really are awesome group of people. That being said, if you are one of those people, you might not want to listen to the next 10, 20, 30, whatever minutes this is going to take. Diablo Immortal. Where do we begin? I think we begin by going back to a couple of months ago when they announced, and I'm probably going to drop a couple frames here. I'm on hotel Wi-Fi, by the way. We're going to go back a couple months when they announced multiple Diablo projects, and they started hyping up Diablo for this year, for this BlizzCon, things of that nature. At that point, there was a little bit of hope, because if we go back even 5 years or whatever it is, 6 years, it's just kind of been Diablo's gotten the short end of the or whatever you call it. We're drawing the short straws here. Like, there's been nothing Diablo, nothing Diablo, nothing Diablo. And literally years where they were like, guys, there is nothing at all, and that kind of sucked, but I get it, right? I get it. And Diablo is probably their least monetized IP that they have. Let's look around, right? Hearthstone, huge money there, right? All the cards, and they can constantly release new cards, and you gotta buy new cards and new decks, and card games always have those massive monetization. World of Warcraft, you're paying monthly for that. Even if you go to Classic, you're paying monthly for that. Even in StarCraft 2, you have money for announcers and things like that, but it's less so, it's less so, which is why StarCraft, I would say, is also slightly one of their less popular IPs, but the tournaments kind of are good exposure, and there's a lot of that stuff. Diablo just doesn't have anything monetized, right? They had the Real Money Auction House. That was what they kind of brought in for it, and it failed, and they had to get rid of it. So at this point, there's not as much money in Diablo, so I get that, right? No, I'm not saying SC is one of their lesser known IPs. I'm saying it's one of their less profitable IPs. Simply, when you compare it to the other ones. So I think it gets a little less of, the main stage with some of that stuff. Anyways. So getting back to that. So we finally get a year where there's Diablo news. And then they come out and release the BlizzCon schedule. And or they say, okay, it's not Diablo 4, kind of, right? They say, oh, it's coming, but it's not yet. So I'm still 100% a believer Diablo 4 is coming, 100%. But other things like that, and the BlizzCon schedule comes out, and you know what they have? They have the first Q&A panel. What's next on the main stage is Diablo. Which is telling me you want to kick off BlizzCon with some big news. Additionally, the last thing that they talk about, actually at this BlizzCon, in the opening ceremonies, is Diablo. So when you have that and that, like, right there, it makes you really think, okay, something big. So much just, and obviously we read into it, that's maybe that's our faults for getting too excited after waiting all these years. But yeah, with the reserved demo section and all that stuff. So a lot of stuff there. But we get there and they bring out the classic guy. Right, now we're at BlizzCon here, and I'm sitting there, and they bring out the classic guy, and it is packed. Everybody is in there. It is packed. And go up and talk to them. Or not talk to them, but like listen, right? And I'm like standing there trying to film, and I've got it on my phone. It's over there. It's not worth seeing. But I'm like trying to like film it, and my arm's getting tired, and I'm like, I can't wait to get this reaction. It's gonna be like Diablo, and then I'm like, oh, like all that stuff, right? It was gonna be like a fantastic video. They bring the classic guy out, and it's like, here we go, and Warcraft video, and I'm like, you know what? That's okay. Like Warcraft remastered, that's okay. I'm happy with that. But now we gotta get the next thing, Now is the Diablo remaster. He's going to say, and also, we've been working with our Diablo team. But then he left the stage. Still okay. Still okay. And then the Diablo guy comes out. And I mean, it's like, everybody's like, yeah, like, this is going to be big, right? It's the final piece of the main stage, like, every other game's been talked about. It's gonna be amazing. And they say, we've been listening to what you guys want, and we're so excited to bring you, Diablo Immortal. And I'm like, all right, Immortal. This sounds cool. This sounds cool. And they go, the latest in mobile gaming, or whatever they said at that point. Followed by the pause for applause. And then continued from there in a very awkward sort of state after that. And, I can't blame them. They had to go out there and present that. That's their job and stuff. But it just became this broken down... Wyatt, poor guy, like, his speech just he kind of started stumbling, right? He started out kind of all right, and he's pretty good speaker. He's spoken some other times, and you saw him in the interview with Riker and stuff. He can speak well, but he just kind of, you could tell it was like awkward for him or difficult for him. He started stumbling over his words a little bit, and then kept having like breaks for applause, right? They'd keep getting to the point where it was like, so there's gonna be zones in the game and stuff, and it just had it was just a weird announcement, and there was clearly no hype in the room for it. That was a big thing. Was nobody in the room was like getting out of their seats going crazy. And then they were like, we're coming right back with the Q&A. And the room just went... And I walked up to the front and literally said, I showed you guys the picture. It's on my Twitter. Exclamation mark Twitter there. Front and center. There was like 5 seats right at the front. Probably, there were more all around, but I was like... All right. So I just went up front and sat down front and center and was like, take a picture. And there were some people there. Obviously, it wasn't deserted. And a lot of people were leaving because the main event was over, But I was very surprised to be able to just go, like, sit at the front. And then the Q&A started, and like the there was like some exploring the world and Q&A, and it just wasn't really going anywhere great or exciting. It was just like, and now we're gonna show you the gameplay. I was like, okay, it's all right. There was trying to think what else. Dude, my phone's blowing up there. There was, let me think. Uh, trying to like recollect it. Oh yeah, so the guy asked about, is this an April Fool's joke, right? Which like that's a little harsh maybe, but people cheered at it, so a lot of people were obviously thinking it. Um, I don't know. Like, I felt bad for the guys on stage having to present it, but I also felt bad for us because this is what we get. So, kind of sucks. And then somebody else was like, "Is this gonna get ported to PC?" And they were like, This is gonna be mobile 100%." And then everybody booed them. Yeah, and and then they were like, "What? Everybody's got phones, And like the big thing they kept going back to was like phones are so powerful and so great now. And who cares? I mean, it's just garbage. Nope. So that was the event. And then they had the demos and everything like that. And for a game that was like a new game being released, crazy whatever, stations were open the whole time. There wasn't a line. I mean, I tweeted a picture out, or I retweeted Dan's picture of that out and stuff. There was just like, for something that was like a new game, new released game, you would imagine that it's going to be packed and the line's out the door. But there were more people playing Diablo 3 on Switch, which is literally just Diablo 3. Like, they play that every day probably anyways. So, and obviously all the people disliking it and blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. I don't mind, it was Exile. I don't mind that they made a Diablo mobile game. I don't mind that at all. That's not a problem. Bethesda made the Elder Scrolls mobile game as well. But the way that it came about was, or Blades or whatever, yeah. The way it came about was just not done right. They hyped everything up. We haven't had a Diablo thing in years. You have a bunch of hardcore PC gamers at BlizzCon. Right, exactly, Rugni. They had Elder Scrolls and then they had their mobile game, right. Not Elder Scrolls, the mobile game, but yeah, whatever. You have all of this. You have all of this stuff building up to it. That can't be your thing. You have to know that nobody there is gonna care whatsoever, and in fact is going to feel insulted when you do that. I get it. You want to jump into the Chinese mobile market because there's a ton of money to be made. This game has a good chance of being pay to win, or tons of microtransactions that whales can just get in and dump a ton of money in. And that's a big thing. I mean, these Chinese gaming companies that I play a mobile game that's got that crap in it, and they make like $500-600 million a year or something just from, this simple mobile game that doesn't have a lot of depth whatsoever. It's just a fun, stupid little game you do a little bit with. I get it. So jump into that. That's totally fine. But the problem is, you can't hype it here, right? Nobody here cares. That's not a thing. That is this Diablo love, amazing, like, what do we want? We've been very vocal about it. Diablo 4, Diablo 2 remastered, heck, some Diablo 1 remaster people could be cool with. Druid in Diablo 3. I mean, like, there's so many things that people would line up for, and they'd be like, you know what, I'll take it for now. Till Diablo 4 comes out, I'll take it for now. Mobile game was never on that list. It was actually on the not list, right? If there was like the thing we don't want, it was mobile. As like the thing that they're gonna work on and release and try and push as this brand new game that we're gonna hype up, put right at the last announcement of main stage, and then the first Q&A and all that stuff, right? They hyped it as if it was a Diablo 4, and it's the opposite, right? So once again, I don't care that they made a mobile game, because I get it. You want to get in the mobile market. I almost wish that they just made another IP and made that their mobile game, right? We're releasing, whatever, Guardians of the Blackened Souls or something, and that's going to be our new IP, and it's going to be purely mobile. Cool, great. Do something like that. That'd be great. Or make it a Diablo mobile game if you gotta. But don't have that as that thing. You do that like, once again, Bethesda did with Blades. I forgot the name. Blades, right? You go, all right, we got this little thing. We realize that there's some mobile gamers out there, and I know you guys aren't them, but we want to get into that space. We want to get that, so we're going to be introducing this, but we're also going to be introducing Diablo 4. Wait, 4. Whatever. Boom. Done. All right. And everybody freaks out, and it's amazing, and it's cool. But you can't present it as it was presented. You just can't. Because then nobody cares about the mobile game at BlizzCon, which once again is not the place that anybody is going to care about a mobile game. Especially when you take a series that has 100% been PC. Diablo 1 only PC, Diablo 2 only PC, Diablo 3 PC, and then, had some console stuff mixed in, but like still a lot of PC. And then mobile? What? So the presentation of it, Diablo 1 was on the PS1, to be fair. Wow. I did not know that. Well, I apologize. That is my bad. I've only played it on the PC and known it on the PC. Yeah, called out. That's my bad. But still, it just... So I played it. I went to the station, and I played the game. And it was like every other mobile ARPG game that you would play. I mean, it's just, there's no depth to it. It's a mobile game. You can't put depth on it, right? It's just... I started and I just had all the skills or whatever. I don't know if that's going to be in the game, but I had 5 skills instantly. There's no mana in the game. Everything is just a cooldown. It looks like Diablo 3. I think they literally must have taken some Diablo 3 assets and used them, because it looks very much like Diablo 3. Lots of cartoonish look and things like that. You get 1 health potion, and it's on a cooldown as well. So you just push it when you want, and then it goes on its cooldown. I'm trying to think what else. It was a little hard to see things on the screen. Once again, kind of like Diablo 3, there's a lot of like and stuff. The controls, moved around okay. It moved around all right. I wasn't a huge fan of the casting with the right thumb because there's like a thing called, like, one skill was meteor. I played a mage or whatever character it was, and there was a meteor, and it was really hard to like cast the meteor. It would like jump around kind of, but I bet I could get used to it. So controls seem fine. Wyatt Chang said they were back and forth about mana or cooldown. Right now they're on cooldown. Okay. Yeah. Inventory was disabled during the demo, so there was no inventory. But you could pick up items, then you just push a button and it equipped all the items. Trying to think what else with it. Obviously, it looks like 7 or 8 or 100 other Chinese or ARPG games that have been created by the same company. So that's kind of a bummer, right? And you can say like, yeah, it has, what do you call it? You could say, yeah, it has the, like its own stuff and it's its own design or whatever, but like they literally have the controls like exactly the same. Like things are in the exact same place. So like one thing that I noticed was on my left thumb, which is my character move thumb, whenever I push on the screen, you basically have like a window like that big. It's wherever you want, but you kind of have like a window like that big. And wherever you push your thumb in on that screen, it forms a circle around where your thumb is, and then you get your kind of move from there. So if I push here one time and move, and then here to move again, it'll like place the circle down wherever it is. That way I'm always starting in the center of my character, which is a good design, but it's something that I noticed every single one of those games had was the exact same thing. None of them just had like the joystick kind of there. It was the adjustable moving joystick, and it looked exactly the same. All the skills on the right side were the same. You had your big button and then your small skill like that. The hand to pick up items was in the exact same spot for those games. So even if it was built ground up, whatever, I know they have said it's ground up, they reused a lot of code. They reused a lot of the ideas and things like that. So they've done a lot of stuff that it just looks the same. I also couldn't. It was very strange, like health wise. I couldn't really tell when I was getting hit until I was like low health, and then I'd like kind of blink red on it, and I was like, oh, I gotta use a potion. But it was really hard to tell like when I was actually getting hit and not. I'm not sure that there's any like hit recovery or anything in the game. I didn't notice it if there was hit recovery, cast rate, any of that stuff. I didn't notice any of those things. And that might be just too much depth for a mobile game. Once again, this is why a mobile game is disappointing for us, because it just can't have the depth. That's it. You can only put so much in a mobile game. So once again, is it a terrible mobile game that's just sucks and whatever? No. I mean, it's just a fine MMO ARPG game that you could run around with for a couple hours, and then you get bored and you go play, either go play a real game, or you're not you don't really play games on PC, and so you just do that every now and then you go off. But like all of us here, we play games on PC. We like games that have depth and everything like that. Additionally, all of those other games are very pay to win, right? And so I wonder, because they're gonna monetize the game, obviously. So do they give it away for free? I would imagine so. So then what do? Where does the money come from? Do you have to pay for cooldowns on doing instances or something? Come back in a day to do this instance again, or pay 99 cents to do it. Is there that whole thing? You buy gems and then you can spend those gems to speed things up. Is there going to be, um, pay to win, right? You just pay to increase your stats, pay to buy gold, to buy stuff in the auction house, things like that. Is there going to be skins? I know they talked a lot about legendary items, which I think is more that D3 thing. Is there, how is that going to work? Are you going to pay for legendaries? Are they going to say $9.99 get the Tower Rasha set today? I don't know. I don't know what the monetization is going to be like. I haven't heard anybody say anything about the monetization of the game. I don't think they wanted more hate right now, and so they're trying not to talk about it, because if they, talked about it, then it would be bad, and more people, they'd get even more dislikes if they were like, yeah, you can pay to boost your character's stats. That's gonna go over well. We really love that. But once again, this game's not targeted for us, in my opinion, right? This game is targeted for the 2.6 billion Asian market mobile. I think that's where it's going towards. Towards just the casual game, whatever it is. They want to hit a new market, and that's why it just was weird why they announced it here and as like such a thing. I think that's the biggest issue with it all. Once again, I don't care that they want to make a mobile game and get in the mobile space. Totally fine. As a company, I understand it. There's a lot of money in mobile right now. But just the way that, they presented it. How did they think it was going to go is the question, right? How did they think it was going to go? You have to know walking in there presenting a mobile game is going to get booed and dislikes and everybody up in arms after 5 years of no, real Diablo news. You have to. Thank you, Caleb. How did they think it was going to go? So here is my thought. Yeah, I do. Here is my thought. I think 2 months ago, 3 months ago, whatever it is, they were ready to release Diablo 4. Not release. Announce. Excuse me. They were ready to announce Diablo 4. And so they built it like this into their schedule. And they said, cool. We're gonna put this as the final piece. We're gonna come out Warcraft Remastered, WoW Classic, blah blah blah. It's gonna be amazing. Everybody's gonna be hyped up, and then we're gonna drop Diablo 4 on them, and everybody's gonna lose their mind, and we're gonna go right into the Q&A, and it's gonna be madness, and everybody's gonna be like, whatever. And then, after they scheduled all of that, they already set the BlizzCon schedule, they set developers, interviews, they set all of these things, something happened internally. I don't know what it was. I don't know. But somebody came up to them and said, Diablo 4 is not ready. We can't do it. They missed a deadline. Right. And so they went, because they had that dedicated demo space and everything, and they, I think they were going to have a Diablo 4 announcement there. And then it was already set. They had to present something there. So either A month ago they went to NetEase and said, yo, can you guys reskin this ARPG game and put some Diablo stuff on it? Sure, all right. Or they were always planning this and they've been working on it for a while, and and then they just said, well, now we only have this to present. So instead of it being this and that, now we just have that. And they had to just go with it. That is my hope. That's the best I can say. That is my utmost hope right now, is that Diablo 4 announcement just had to be cut. They missed a deadline and they couldn't get a demo out, or they couldn't get the cinematic or whatever it was. They couldn't get it done. Because even with the mobile game, it just seems like they don't even have a lot of knowledge on that. That's why it felt thrown together, right? Somebody literally in the Q&A said, "When is Diablo Immortal going to be ready?" And they said, when it's finished, I guess? What kind of answer is that? When it's finished? No timeline? Like, you can't say, "Oh, we're planning end of 2019. Nah, when it's finished, I guess. Like, how is that planned as the only thing that they're releasing with Diablo? No. This is why I'm saying they had to have had something like Diablo 4 in that slot. It got screwed, thrown out, and they went to NetEase and said, "Yo, guys, give us something quick." And then they made a quick little demo, spun it up, threw it out at them, and they just put it up, and we're like, "All right, here you go." You know? The demo was like 5 to 10 minutes. So, and it's just, like we said, even if it's not technically a reskin, it's pretty dang reskinny of everything that we've seen. So, is it something they could have done in a couple of weeks, a month? Yeah, sure, totally. Why not? But then you don't have a timeline because the game is like, And then the way that they pushed it in, thematically and lore-wise, I still don't quite understand it. And you guys know I suck with lore, so this might just be me. But it's supposed to start right after D2, the filler between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. But then it was like, they started it, and it was like 5 years after Diablo 2. And the guy said that they were going to be talking about like where the Demon Hunter Guild came from. He was like, you'll learn that as you go along, you'll discover the Demon Hunters and where it came from. But then like the Demon Hunter's already a character. The Druid isn't a character. There's no assassins in there. So you have like Monk, Crusader, Mage or Wizard or whatever it was for that one, Barbarian, Demon Hunter, and Necromancer. So it's like, where did the other characters go? Isn't this between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3? Wouldn't you have Diablo 2 characters there, and then maybe they find some Diablo 3 characters along the way? Or that was confusing to me. I'm not really sure what's the lore doesn't quite make a lot of sense to me right now. And obviously we just have like a cinematic and a little bit of their discussion to go on. But I don't know. Yeah. And that's where, once again, I think they took some Diablo 3 assets and just reused them, right? Or brought them in. All right, well, we've got the Necro, the Demon Hunter. We've got all that. We'll just bring that in. So those things are confusing as well. I don't know. It's a really weird BlizzCon Diablo. It's just strange. The way that it all unfolds. And I can almost guarantee you Diablo 4 or whatever that other thing is in the works. I can almost guarantee it. And I don't have actual knowledge of it. But just from the way that they've said things and all of their stuff and good things take a while, evil things take longer, and things like that. Like, I can almost guarantee Diablo 4 is better, or is not better. Will be better than this, but is in the works. But you really got to question just the company slightly at this point. You know, you really have to sit down and just be like, why? Thanks, Lanu. What is this point? It's just such a weak announcement. It's such a poorly timed everything single piece. I feel like so many other people could have handled this so much better. I could have handled it better. You know what? Thank you, Vinny Pop. If they would have come to me and been like, yo, Llama, we have D4, we can't announce it, we're missing this deadline, can you go out and set up BlizzCon for us? I'd be like, guys, I got this. And then I would go out there and I'd be like, I'm going to be honest with you, everybody. We wanted to present something amazing right now. Y'all probably know what it is. We missed a deadline. We don't have it ready yet. 2 months from now, we're going to have something awesome for you. In the meantime, here's a small thing that we did on the side. Don't feel like this is going to be the big Diablo hype and everything that we're getting super excited about. We're very, excited to get into this new space. I know you guys are PC gamers. We also want to hit the mobile market. I get it. But, there was a way to say it. There was a way to deal with the crowd, even if they just came out and didn't even announce the mobile now, and then they announced the mobile in a couple months when they announced Diablo 4. Because that's the other point, is like, I thought the mobile was going to be ready already. When the guy was like, oh, when are we going to, when will we be able to play this? And they go, when it's finished, I guess. Okay, what? Like, if it's not even ready now, everybody's going to be disappointed in it. What are you doing? Just don't even announce it then. And announce it at the same time. Say we've got Diablo 4 on PC and Diablo Immortal on mobile. And everybody would go, yeah, Diablo 4, blah, 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 And maybe some dude in China would be like, yeah, Diablo Mobile, or whatever, but... Man. Like, yeah, if I want to play that, I'll just go play the Kung Fu Panda Chinese game that they have right now, and I'll play, Diablo 3 mobile, basically. And then it was just the way all the questions were answered. Was very dodgy. I think at one point a guy, and I'd have to watch the video again and stuff, because I was sitting there tweeting out like, what is this, but don't you dare talk crap about Kung Fu Panda. It looked great. I'm sorry. That game looks good. But yeah, just the answers. They didn't really have a lot of good answers. One guy was like, hey, what happened with the druid and stuff? And I think his answer was just like, we're really excited to bring, this mobile experience for everyone. It was like something like that. I was like, that didn't even remotely answer the question. Like, the guy, did he not know any of the lore? It was confusing. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but I just remember there wasn't like any answer about that or something. So yeah, I mean, then obviously there was like April Fool's question and the devs getting booed and stuff. And, at that point, I literally typed in my Discord, I said, they need to shut this thing down. And they did. They were like, all right, we got time for one more question and make it quick, and that's all. Even though they were slotted for like 45 minutes, I think there was only a 15-minute Q&A and discussion. So 34 minutes instead of 45. Okay, yeah, like it didn't take the whole time. And they had gone longer on their main stage stuff, so maybe they were trying to speed it up to catch up to schedule again. That's very possible. But yeah, it was the Q&A did not have a lot of good A's. Not a lot of great Q's either. I mean, it was very short and very just whatever. But do I think they'll make a statement about all of this? I don't really know. I mean, you gotta think that they're gonna have to make some statement. Like, they can sit there and they can delete comments on the YouTube and they whatever, but like at this point, they're in some serious hot water, right? However you want to say it, whatever, they can sit there and excuse it all they'd like and say, we just want to get into the mobile market and all this stuff and whatever. But end of the day, they probably need to come out and apologize. And once again, just be honest, be a little more transparent, be whatever about it. Say, I know you guys are upset. We wanted to announce something else as well. We couldn't, if that was the case. If not, they could say, this is whatever it is. It's just, I mean, right, and that's the thing, is nobody would expect Blizzard to apologize at this point. So if they did come out and apologize, maybe that would give us some little, okay, or whatever. It's just disappointing to the core audience, right? All of the people who have loved Diablo for the past 20 years, 21 years, 22 years, I think now. All of those people, whether you are a Diablo 3 lover, Diablo 2 lover, Diablo 1 lover, every person of all those three gets disappointed by this. And that's... What is this clip, Lil Ray?
So, the reactions are what they are, elephant in the room. Is there any message of anything, of reassurance or something that you want to relate to PC and Diablo fans?
Well, I guess there's kind of two sides to that. The first is that this is a true Diablo game. And I know that, for a lot of people, if they don't play a lot of mobile games, this is, not something that immediately they say, hey, well, they're not going to jump all over it. And that's fine. I think for Diablo Immortal, you really need to play it to understand how far the technology has come, I've talked to so many people here at BlizzCon.
I mean, obviously, like, he's not going to be the guy to come out and apologize, right? First things first, he is doing his job right now, which is you go out there and promote Diablo Immortal and make it the coolest thing ever. That's all he's allowed to do right now. He can't go, I'm really sorry, everybody. He can't. That has to be made higher up over time, but whatever. So he's got to say what he has to say. I take nothing away from what Wyatt says there. But there is still that factor of that's the message that they're pushing, which is this is a Diablo game. This is something that you gotta try first, and then you'll learn about it. And once again, you're saying this to PC gamers. We know what mobile games are like. We've played plenty of mobile games before. Like, we get it. We know how smart our smartphones are. Him being like, oh, you don't realize how smart your smartphone is and how much it can do. Nah, I know, fam. I got it. The problem is I'm still playing on this stupid tiny screen with my 2 thumbs. Thank you, Kildren. I want to use all my fingers on this keyboard and my mouse with my mouse, keys and be able to do cool combos by doing all those things. Not going, that is the problem. That's what they're not seeing potentially. We're not thumbs gamers. Like, we love the computer. We don't even like consoles that much. And obviously, like, there's a lot, they've got some console gamers there from their stuff. But I would say a majority of people that have played the Diablo series have played on the PC. And we play on the PC because we don't like using the stupid little consoles, controllers, and all that stuff. We want to have a whole keyboard where I can sit there and say, I've got 9 skills and they're all hotkeyed to these different things. I've got my potions. I've got all my hotkeys to open up my tree and blah, blah, blah. And I can do all of that simultaneously while moving my mouse and in conjunction. And it is awesome. And that's what I love about the PC. And you can't make a phone replicate that. You just can't. And there's just a limited thing that a mobile game can do. It's just, And why is Diablo becoming so family friendly? Why is everything so happy and colorful and casualed down? Like, when you start from the front and go to where it is now, isn't this a game about fighting the devil? Going through dungeons and slaying demons? When did that become so friendly? Oh. Gosh. Every game has gotten worse and worse than that. Even from D1 to D2. And I love Diablo 2. D1 is by far, though, the darkest game. D2 is still pretty dark, and you got a lot of that. D3 takes a big shift out of it, and then Diablo Immortal's even more playful, it feels like. Yeah, I've seen that. So, I mean, at this point, like, where do we go? Is this a PoE stream now? Is that where we're going? I mean, we can stick with Diablo 2 and just keep grinding away at Diablo 2 forever. Is there ever a switch? Ever the jump? Oh. I just wanted to... I've been streaming Diablo 2 for 4 years. I've been playing Diablo 2 for 18 years, on and off. I took a couple years for, StarCraft 2 and things like that. And I was just so hopeful that we'd go into either D2 Remastered, awesome, little freshener. We'd go into Diablo 4, all right, sweet, making that jump. And, you know, I don't think I'm going to become a Diablo Immortal streamer. I don't even know how you stream a mobile game that you can't, because I couldn't do like a BlueStacks or any like emulator of it because I have to have the two thumbs to move it around, right? Unless I could somehow have my keyboard and mouse set up to, I'm not sure if you could emulate one of those games. Somebody could tell me if they've done it with any of the other Chinese games that companies made. I could cast my phone on my desktop, I guess. Map a controller. I don't want a controller though. I want to use a mouse and keyboard if I do that. But I mean, then once again, you know, once again, oh, okay, nice shiny. Why are you trying to figure this out? I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with ideas, man. At this point, I'm just like, you know, I'm just disappointed. Thank you, Nathan. You just killed Diablo by swiping left on him. That's right. Oh. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see how this plays out over the next week, few weeks, whatever time frame. You know, is it gonna be? I'm sick. I'm not crying. I'm sick, guys. I did cry a little bit, maybe at the show, but now it's just my sinuses. Yeah, it's just a weird scenario. I'm not crying, gosh dang it. It's just a weird scenario, that's all. Because it really just it really just puts you in that position where you're just like, well, now what? Right? I had so many ideas and so much stuff in my mind. And they're all gone. You know, once again, I still believe Diablo 4 is coming. I think they've been pretty clear about that. But when is that announced? When is that timeline? When is, you know? And obviously they're getting a ton of hate for this at the moment. How long is that going to keep up? What's going to happen with the current communities of Diablo 2, Diablo 3, things like that? I don't know. I'm very interested to see. You know. And obviously, like, yeah, there's probably a little bit of overreaction right now. And stuff will settle in a little bit. But it also kind of makes me think a little bit of when the Culling 2 came out. I don't know if you guys saw that, because it was a little bit of a different game. But it was a horrible fail. They got out, everybody went to play it, and then it would just like flopped. It was like not well built, and there was all this crap, and they tried to just be Culling. They tried to be like the next Fortnite, but in a really bad... It was a weird scenario, and the game just blew up and died right there immediately. I mean, obviously, I don't think Diablo Immortal is going to do that, but... yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts, questions, things like that? Let's go to Q&A. Let's go to Feel like Blizzard's lost their way. Think it'll fail. 5 more years at D2. What's next? I mean, y'all have phones, right? So, would I feel better if nothing was announced? Yeah, I actually would have. If they literally came out and said, you know, we messed up and we couldn't get, what we wanted to in time. Was the big reveal only mobile? Yeah. I really think there'd be better. Is this a April Fool's joke? Off season? No, we're really excited. Did the crowd seem offended when the devs asked? A little bit. The crowd was really tense that whole time. It was an uncomfortable situation, I will not lie. Scott Johnson said nothing was scrapped and this has been the plan all along. Well, that makes me sad. Time to speedrun Tinder? I'm dating someone, otherwise, sure. What do I do with the 1.5K PC that I just bought? Play other games with it. What could have been presented that would have been worse? Diablo Battle Royale? I don't know if that would have been worse. I might have been more interested in a Diablo Battle Royale, actually. Am I going to Disneyland? No, I'm just leaving. If you weren't done, aren't you worried? Hold on, sorry, I need to make my chat bigger. Soup? Right? I'm more disappointed than Kylie was getting soup. Did I see the petition to cancel it? Yeah. Am I staying for tomorrow? No. But I was already leaving, so it's not like I'm leaving in protest, I have to go. I already promised someone I'd go to their wedding, and so I feel bad. What's next, BT? I don't know. What do you want to go? What should we go play? Did I throw my pass on stage? No, I needed it to get into other places. I should bring them soup? Yeah. No, I don't, Leon. What? They're going to use this to say nobody wants Diablo and cancel D4? I'd actually be curious to see if they had any inkling of canceling this. Our donation sounds activated. They're not. I don't know why. It's everything is broken. Oops. I don't know what's going on there. Everything is broken with my OBS on this. I'm gonna have to go home and reformat all that stuff. Huey and Lost Ark. Yeah. Torchlight Frontiers is coming out. That seems cool. Am I going to speedrun the Lost Vikings? What? No. Are you going to organize protests? Probably not. What makes anyone think D4 will be any good? I still believe the Diablo team has learned its lesson from Diablo 3. Once again, this whole project was outsourced to NetEase. So I'm sure they sent some Diablo 3, or graphics people and stuff with them, but it wasn't developed really by them. Anyways, let me turn off this thing really fast. One sec. No. Whoa. Oh, no wonder. That's Kylie's. That's Kylie's stream labels. Good lord. There's a massive donation in there. That is not mine. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to get. God, everything is broken. Everything's broken. Okay, anyways. Do you think the old Blizz North team are laughing? I think they probably are. Is there another Diablo Q&A tomorrow? Yeah, I'm not going to be there for it. Like I said, I have to go to the wedding. If this was really the plan from the beginning, they've learned absolutely nothing. Once again, I don't think this is the Diablo developers' thoughts. You ever played any obscure called Shadowflare? No. Diablo dating simulator? Was there any booing, heckling during the initial announcement? No, there was just silence. It was really awkward. Like, I think it was a strange time for everybody there. It was weird. Did I see the PoE post right after? Yeah, it was pretty funny. Tomorrow's Q&A is going to be... I'm kind of scared. Once again, it's like, oh man. It's kind of cringe when people like right there are asking the questions because it's just like, I just hate, items are a huge part of Diablo games. Does that make me worry about D4? Maybe a little bit. I really hope so. Do I think they're going to announce D4 after tomorrow's... No, they wouldn't do that. I'm pretty dang sure they will not. Yeah, so maybe... I mean, I just don't even think they're gonna cancel it. Thank you, Kugrin. Yeah, right? Like... Oh, you know what? I probably have Kylie's alert box set up. Let me see if I can fix this. And then you could run again. Crap. Never mind. Yeah, that's probably what's going on though. I think it's her alert box. She used my computer for streaming last, so. First question tomorrow. You sure this isn't an out of season April Fool's joke? Thanks, Ness. If I were to ask a question at the Q&A, what would I ask? I would ask about monetization options. I would say, what is the plan for monetizing this game? Is it going to be pay to win? Is there going to be a paywall just for skills? Is it going to be for gear, things like that? What's it going to be like? And they'll probably say, well, it's not quite set yet. We've looked at a lot of options and blah, 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 But I'd be very curious to see what that actually is. Because I think that'll drive a whole nother train. Unless they go, oh, it's going to be $9.99 to buy the game and that's it. Which I don't think so. I don't know, Senpai. Yeah. Yeah. If it's free with cosmetic purchases, you might try it. I mean, once again, it's not a bad game. It's just a basic MMO ARPG mobile game. That's the thing, right? When I think back to Diablo 1, Diablo 2, heck, even Diablo 3, there was some creativity and uniqueness and things like that to it, right? You look at any of those Diablo games and you're like, wow, they kind of created this new thing and it's its own style and it's got its own way that it plays and things like that. Diablo Immortal doesn't look like that at all, right? Especially when you look at Endless of God, or the whatever, the Kung Fu Panda, or the Crusader of Light. Literally all of those. Yeah, I am cute Asian guy. When you look at any of those mobile games that look exactly the same and have the exact same controls and literally like the exact same places of all the buttons and everything, you just go, huh, okay. And then it has D3 skin on it, and so there's just like no piece of it where you're like, this is an inventive game, which is what I feel like most Blizzard games are, right? I mean, pretty much every other Blizzard game, StarCraft Brood War and Classic, StarCraft 2, they did a whole lot of cool stuff with that. Overwatch, you know, I mean, there's so many games, and it's like every single Blizzard game, you really look at it and go, that's built from the ground up. It has its own style to it. It has its own play. Even when you go to something like Heroes of the Storm, do I like that MOBA? Nah, I much prefer Dota 2 and, you know, whatever. It's okay, but they did their own thing with it. They said, you know what? Experience is now gained across the team as a whole team level. You know, Hearthstone, right? That's very unique in how it kind of came out and was this own... whatever. Diablo Immortal doesn't have any of that uniqueness from my demo playthrough and from what I've seen. It just literally every piece of it looked and felt like any other mobile ARPG game, and that's the most disappointing thing to me. That's the whole disappointing thing to me. So, how long was the demo? Took me like 7 minutes maybe. So, it was just... I'm a speedrunner though, so you know. You gotta remember that. But I literally just like ran up. It was like kill 50 enemies. So I just, you know, spammed all my skills. 50 enemies died. And then it was go find the portal. Sorry. Go find the portal. And then there was a boss. And then, you know, we just kind of killed the boss. So. Yeah, so I mean it was an ARPG. It was that. Does the Wendy's shake help with the Diablo depression? Maybe a tiny bit. Why this happened? You know? Can't tell you. I feel like they predicted the backlash and used it to gain exposure to make everyone talk about it. It seems like a bad reason. Like, you don't want this sort of talk, in my opinion. Why'd they invite me for this bad news? I mean, I think it was just they were bringing, you know, streamers of Blizzard games out. And once again, I applied for a media pass. They didn't invite me in like a, hey, come out here and stream this game for us or anything. You know, I was just like, hey, I'd love to go and get a press pass and be able to see all this stuff. And in the past 2 years, they've denied me. And this year they accepted me. So that's why I was like, oh, I think there's going to be something cool. Right? Because of that. You know. So, did I get cool swag at least? Yeah, I mean, there's a cool box with, well, I guess I can get that. Ugh. Hello. Clock's wrong. Wait, why is the clock wrong? Oh, no, it's not. It's right. I should ask David Brevig about his thoughts. I mean, I think he thought this was going to happen. I think he was predicting it. So we got the, thank you, Lex Rebel and Kildren. We got the BlizzCon book. I wonder if it talks, no, it probably doesn't mention any spoilers. We have the, how do I, open this? Here we go. Oh, it's really hard to get open. Whew. We have the Heroes of the Storm Ravenlord Crest Magnet. Probably shouldn't have had that on my PC. It's not great. Ooh. We have the Hearthstone Magnet set. Oh, they're all little individual magnets. We have the Overwatch Challenge coin. And classic right there. We have the World of Warcraft keychain. It's like a champion of the... It spins around in the middle. We have the StarCraft Anniversary pin. 20th anniversary. It's a little pin, I guess, that you can stab into yourself if you'd like. Ow! Gosh. Ow. And this last piece is very spiky and it hurts. Shoot, how do you get it out? And the last piece is actually really cool. We have a little Diablo figure. So he's actually pretty sick. I actually like this guy. So this is actually the best Diablo news to come out of BlizzCon right here. Pog. Go back in your hole. God, I'm so scared I'm gonna break him now. Alright, there we go. Ugh. So, yeah, they should have given us a Diablo phone case. That would actually be cool. Did I have hope for a D2 Remastered this year? Before this? I did. I didn't. Like, I did, and then I didn't. Remember? My hype started high on it, and then actually went down a lot. And by the time I made that, like, Diablo announcements video, I was like, I'm not sure there's gonna be a remaster. Um, it seemed like there wasn't, but then I had so many people telling me that were like, yeah, it's probably gonna be a remaster. And then like all these like leaks came out of D2 remaster, and everything was like remaster, remaster, and my hype went from here to, and I got really hyped for it again. But at this point, there's not gonna be a Diablo 2 remaster, in my opinion. If there is, cool. I mean, maybe the classic team that's their next project, right? They did StarCraft and Warcraft. And maybe now they're gonna do D2. I don't know. At this point, I don't have any hope for it, I guess. Obviously, a D2 remaster is very unlikely because they would have to redevelop the game. But they have the resources to do that, right? The company is worth so much money, they can very easily hire a team to remaster it if they want. So, bye, Raggets. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people that were, expecting it, I would almost say. It seemed like one of those things that was starting to get a little bit of hype around it, and that would have been great. If they came out with that, that would have been plenty. Community would have gone, cool. And the mobile game? Alright, sure, whatever. Thanks, Skipper. And yeah, Diablo Immortal will probably make a lot of money. Mobile games just make money. That's the thing. They're cheap and they make a crap ton of money. So, I really, especially when you look at the other games that they already have, I mean, they're just reskinning it, essentially. Once again, even if it's built from ground up, there's still so many other, they can just copy paste a lot of code, and they've already figured out how to do a lot of the stuff, and so it's just, do a little bit here and there, but it's really doesn't cost. I'd be very curious to see how much it costs for Blizzard to get this game made. So, when life brings you soup. About Tree Fitty. That seems about right. Diablo 3 looks a lot better now after that, right? And that's the crazy thing. They didn't even announce, like, Druid for Diablo 3. There wasn't any other news. It was all in on Diablo Immortal. Do you think there's a chance of a surprise something for tomorrow? I don't see why they would wait. Like, why would you not announce all of it right now when you have everybody's attention, That's the problem, in my opinion. Because they need to save face and didn't plan to. So, like, now they throw something out there. I mean, I just don't see it happening. If they announce Diablo 4 is in works tomorrow for some damage control, I mean, it's going to do a little bit for them. Obviously, it would have been better if they did it in the same way Bethesda did theirs announcement. But, well, I mean, do they have a cinematic ready for it? Do they have... when would they announce it? During the, like, let's talk a little bit more? When nobody's there? That's the problem. Like, right now, everybody was there at the start and was pumped for the announcement there. So if they come out tomorrow to try and announce Diablo 4 to like an empty room, obviously not empty, but you know, a lot. It would be a really weird, poor timing because I think it would lose a lot of the hype that Diablo 4 was supposed to have. Do I feel like Chang was generally surprised at the reaction? Maybe a little bit. I think, like I said, I feel bad for him. You know, it's really hard to go up there and give a presentation that you're supposed to hype up a room about, and even if he thought it wasn't going to go well, like, you could still tell you got nervous and he started stuttering and, you know, all of that stuff. Like, it's, you know, I've got no ill feelings there. I feel really bad that, you know, he has to do that. Because that's, like, embarrassing, right? Like, that's his job. And that, now he feels bad, right? And he feels worried, probably, that he did a bad job at presenting it. Maybe, you know, what if somebody else went out there and was like, Diablo Immortal, and everybody was like, yeah, and they were like, don't worry guys, this is actually going to be sick. I know what, you know, whatever. Like, is there somebody that could have sold it? No. But in his mind, maybe he thinks he sold it very poorly. Because if you give a solid presentation versus you give a presentation where you're stuttering and you're kind of, you know, Deckard Cain, wait, no, I mean, not Deckard Cain, first, you know, like, if you start stuttering over your work and you don't give the best presentation, you kind of take some of that blame, maybe. And so I wonder if he's, you know, going to take any of that. So it's, I don't know. You know, I don't know how he feels, how he felt. Obviously, the only thing he can say is, we're really excited to bring you Diablo Immortal, and I think it's got a great, you know, platform, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and people, once they try it, they're going to love it, right? That's all he can say. Every single time. So, yeah. Someone made a Twitter Red Diablo shirt guy. What? Oh, Hanyaka. Jay Wilson... Chris Wilson, what great salesman. Dude can sell anything. But that ends there. Red Diablo shirt guy. Let's look at this. Oh, yeah. Got it. Got it. Oh, man. You could have a stuttering third grader announce teacher remaster and the room would explode. Right, exactly. 1 second, let me see. My phone blew up like 100 times. Oh, man. It's tough. It's a tough thing. I once again, I don't think anybody's selling that. You know? What do you think about Blizzard whitewashing the downvotes on their cinematic videos? Yeah. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of all of that. Like, replacing the videos and things to try and spread out maybe the dislikes or in whatever. Right, they keep re-uploading the video and stuff. Deleting negative comments. I mean, from a company standpoint, you kind of have to do it, right? I mean, I guess you don't have to. I can see why a company does it. Because they want to try and make it not appear. Like, obviously, all of us see how much we hate it. Or we're disappointed, or whatever it is. We dislike the video, right? everybody in the immediate community has that, like, whatever. But there are billions of people who haven't seen or heard anything about it. So if they go and see the video and it doesn't have 500,000 dislikes on it because it's a new uploaded one, new upload, and they keep doing it until it doesn't have that bad ratio, they won't have that opinion of it as much. If they don't see all the negative comments, they won't, you know. So, you know, I get it from that standpoint because the market that they're trying to reach is the one that probably hasn't even heard of it yet. So, you know. We'll see. I think the best thing they can do is just at this point it's hard. I was gonna say cancel it and just announce Diablo 4, but once again, then you're like destroying Diablo 4's hype announcement. So that kind of sucks. And they still want to release a mobile game, so... And it's, you know, once again, I don't even care that they want to release a mobile game. Just the way that it got there, the way they went into it was just not good. Just didn't like it. Maybe Tucker. What's new on the Diablo world? They're releasing a Diablo mobile. That's it. I hate that the story and lore is now locked behind a mobile game. Well, that's still confusing even. I'm going to have to see more anyways there. Yeah. Saw people demoing. Looks like a lot of tapping. I mean, I played the demo. Like I said, it was just any generic ARPG, MMO, mobile game. Maybe it's too difficult to make those different because they're very casual games in nature, right? You just go. So, you know. Yeah. Do you think this flub might kind of force them to tease with other news? Honestly, I hope it forces them to apologize. I really hope they come out and say, wow, we messed up. And we want to get in the mobile space, but we want to... you know, we obviously presented it in a way that wasn't great. And whatever it is, you know? So, just apologize in the way it's presented. I don't think they have to apologize for wanting to make a mobile game. Just apologize for the way they presented it and the hype they built up for it to a bunch of PC gamers. Thank you, Seabass. Do you think if it was Diablo 3 on Switch it would have gone better than Immortals? I think it would have gone better, but I think people would have still been disappointed if that was just the news they had. You know? Are the Q&A videos or clips up anywhere? All of them have been taken down. I would imagine they still have the main video up, right? Why don't we do hype for new subs anymore? Yeah, hype in the chat. There you go. So, they also essentially told everyone that they're not willing to try and make a game that gives people for its money. When did that happen? Needed a bigger panel time. Needed to be smaller. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just the BlizzCon audience is not the mobile game audience. So, In the VOD for the Diablo Q&A panel, they edited out the April Fool's question. Once again, they're doing all of that damage control, and I expect them to do that. I expect them to 100% do that. Because, you know, like I say, that question was a bit harsh. Obviously, like, I don't think so, right? But, you know, like, it doesn't have that professional Q&A feel to it. That's not a question. That's just an insult, right? It's like if somebody came up and was like, you guys are dumb. Everybody would be like, yeah, but then, like, yeah, that's not a question that is appropriate or one you want to leave up there. Thank you, Kildren. Yeah, Red Shirt Guy asked that question, exactly. Kildren's killing it with the subs today. Very thoughtful of him. I mean, this is kind of like a Bible lol thump emote. Is there an emote with that? David Breck just said Blizzard told us not to get too hyped up. Sure, but that was like come off the Diablo 4 train. So we came off of that. Diablo Netflix series? I would have been pretty hyped about that, even though it's not a game. Still would have been pretty cool. Diablo 2 Remaster? I would have been super hyped about that. Felt like there were a lot of things, a lot of ways it could have gone, and that was just the most unfortunate. Druid in Diablo 3? A lot of people would have still been excited. I would have personally been disappointed, but a lot of people would still. But obviously that's because I don't, you know, I'm not a big D3 guy, but. Yeah. Yeah, it at least would give some new content for other people to get in there and whatnot. So, how would I feel about a Diablo RTS? I don't think they would make it. There's no market for a new RTS really. People don't want to play RTSs anymore. They're too difficult, honestly. So if they did come out with one, they'd have to make it even more casual, and I just don't think that that's anything that needs to be done. They own the RTS market with StarCraft 2. Why step on and you know StarCraft 1 and Warcraft 3, right, which they just remastered. Why would they try and make another one? They don't need another RTS. Thank you, Kildren. With your own T1 sub after gifting out 10 or whatever. Would a D2 remake for mobile but have been received better? Probably not. Maybe a little better, but I still don't know. If they announced working on D4 and announced Immortal should be fine, yeah, I think they could have done that and it would have been totally fine. RTS talk hurts, but it's true. I'm sorry. RTS games are the hardest games to play, in my opinion. They're just extremely difficult, and the next wave of gamers is more casual than that. It's just people, you know, want to play Fortnite now and stuff. And, you know, even if you look at ARPGs, they've gone in a little bit more of that casual way. Diablo 3 versus Diablo 2. It's more of the arcadey style game. You know, and Diablo 3, as much crap as I give it, you know, we all give it just kind of to be funny sometimes. Like, it's not a terrible game, I think, for a console, honestly. I think it really would be something totally fine that you could play. It reminds me a little bit of Gauntlet Legends. I used to love Gauntlet Legends. You just go to the stage and you push, you know, pew, 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 and you just kill shit. And, sorry, language. And you just have a lot of fun. But, you know. I'm sorry. I know. I apologize, guys. I meant to say stuff. I've been. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough day. Yeah. Diablo Battle Royale would have at least been interesting. Like, honestly, I know we're all kind of tired of Battle Royale games because it's like they've just been around for a few years now and it's like every game's Battle Royale. But if you made a Diablo Battle Royale that was actually like a PvP, think of like a really good Diablo PvP game. And it was like an ARPG PvP Battle Royale. So you run around and you find gear, and maybe there's some little monsters you kill around as you're going, and then you also encounter other players, and you can fight the other players in PvP just like in a Diablo 2 PvP. And it becomes a giant Battle Royale game. It could actually be kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. But like, that's how far. Yeah, I know. Like, that's how far I away we are from what I actually want, which is just Diablo 4. Like at this point, that's like that would have at least been something that I would have been decently excited for. So, you know. Yeah, PoE had that little Battle Royale edition, and it was lots of fun. Thank you, Hyrule. It was a lot of fun. So, man. And that was an April Fool's joke. Oh, man. Thank you, Leonidas. So, I'd rather it was just a really awesome PC ARPG, though, personally. I think that's the end of it. You know? Like, can we just get back to that? But maybe the problem is there's just not enough money there. Maybe that's it, honestly. Like, as a fan of the Diablo series and a Diablo 2 player and all of this stuff, in the past, there was money in that. And maybe now it's just moved into other things. MMOs with subscription fees, mobile games, casual console, games that can be played on the console and the PC, whatever you want. Maybe that's the thing, right? Maybe that's just what makes the most money, and so they're just going to follow the money because they're a business, and that's what businesses do. And obviously you can say Path of Exile, right? I mean, that is a good example. But I don't know. Maybe this mobile game might make more than Path of Exile does, and maybe Path of Exile still has a little bit of that, like, we're developers who love this genre. And Blizzard might just be at that point where they say, we're just... We're a big business, and we're built to make as much money as we can and increase our shareholders' revenue and whatever, I don't know. Or maybe they just wanted to get in the mobile market right now, and then Diablo 4 is going to come out, and it's going to be awesome. Who knows? Who knows anymore, right? So, that's my hope. Start streaming PoE. I can't take it anymore. I really had multiple plans in my mind. Like, if Diablo 2 Remaster comes out, this is what I'm going to do. If Diablo 4 is getting announced, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I had all these plans for, like, how we could change our streaming to be all these things. And now I'm like, you know, maybe we do some PoE. Maybe we do a couple hours of PoE every night or something. I don't know. Children with another gifted sub. Ugh. Who knows? Torchlight to support those devs? Well, we have to hear more about Torchlight Frontiers and when that's coming out and everything. I'm definitely curious to play that game, though. It does look fun. Heard of Vulcan? I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, though. Yeah. They didn't say anything about D2? Nope. They did not. Grim Dawn, I have yet to play that. I should probably play through it. I should also finish my Torchlight 2 playthrough, actually. Check out the Warcraft 3 remastered. Yeah, I mean, that'd be fun. I was always more of a StarCraft than a Warcraft guy. Like, when I played Warcraft, I played Dota. So, you know, I was a little bit there to there with it. Thank you, Chippetto. Do I feel disappointed? Yeah, a little bit. But Warcraft 3 customs, those are always really fun. What was the party? Something party? That was always a really fun custom. There were a lot of good custom games in Warcraft 3. I look like I've been bawling. I'm just sick. I wasn't crying. Gosh, chat. Time to become a Fortnite streamer? I think chat would rather I played Immortal than that. Play through the Warcraft 2 campaigns? That'd be fun. That'd be pretty fun. Great tower defense maps. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Dude, that's cool. Let's go original. Color hair blue and then become a Fortnite streamer? Good. How's PoE as a stream game? It got so much depth that a casual viewer might have trouble. I definitely think the PoE community is very, like, hardcore PoE. Obviously, you can just watch it and whatever, but the game is so deep that I feel like you really need to be a little bit in it or whatever. Right? Was I at the WCS stage? Uh-huh. I was watching all the StarCraft stuff. It was really cool. Oh man. PoE community is super friendly and helpful, though. Yeah. I really love the PoE community. I honestly do. Mostly you're watching PoE streams for personalities and highlights while you play on the other monitor. I think that's also what people watch when they watch me play Diablo 2. A lot of them are playing it as well, and they just kind of, at least all my mods, because they're never modding my chat. I always thought they were embarrassed with Diablo 2 and they were speaking at any cons. I mean, I think it's tough for them there, you know. We have the media Excel, so give me a shot. Maybe. I don't know about that. Throwing the mods under the bus there. I'm just saying. If you're a mod in chat, type 1, you know. Is there something redeeming about Diablo Immortal? Is it worth it to consider at all as players and fans of Diablo? It's a MMO ARPG that I'm sure will be mildly fun to play. Alright, I see a lot of not mods in the chat so far. So there we go. Sounds about right. So, thank you, Tuba. So, you know, and also there might be some new lore and story, and maybe that could be cool in it. Obviously, I only played like 7 minutes of a demo, so I don't have a lot of knowledge on it beyond that. So we'll have to see. You know, we'll have to see what it looks like. Like I said, it played okay. The controls were pretty decent. It played all right. I could see myself, if it's free, I could see myself, and not like one of those, we lock stuff behind, but if it's like, oh, you can buy new skins or something, all right, cool, whatever. I can see myself having it on my phone and playing it when I'm on a bus or something sometime for, 15, 20 minutes. But it's not any game that I'm like excited to try and stream, or a game that I'm, gonna main or anything like that, or try and speedrun. I highly doubt I would do that stuff. But I don't know. I honestly have no clue. Once again, I played a 7-minute demo. It was okay. It was a fine mobile game, ARPG. And it's one that, you can play with your friends. That's the other thing. So, you can run around in a little group with your friends in a mobile game. So, whatever. It seems fine there. So I think it's just a cash grab. I think it's just a jump into the Chinese mobile market because it's so big over there. Or something of that nature. Hope it has autoplay. Oh. Maybe it'll be surprisingly well designed. Who knows? But I'm just not a big mobile game player. I'm a PC gamer. That's what I do. I love PC games. I play a silly mobile game for a few minutes here and there. I don't even play console games. I play computer games. So I want computer games. I'm not red-eyed and sniffling. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles? That sounds really good. What is the loot system like? Items just dropped on the ground, and then you just pressed a button that was to pick up. And then it put it in your inventory, but the inventory was disabled during the demo, so I didn't see anything that. Do I think they'll admit that they messed up? Probably not. And once again, I don't even think it's a mess up, except in how they presented it all. Yeah. Got that con flu. Well, I just came from TwitchCon, and then now I'm at BlizzCon, so like I'm around way too many sick people and people that I have to like, touch the same handrails as and stuff. So yeah, I've just got the con sickness right now. It's kind of sucks. Does it have PvP? I highly doubt it. Not 100% certain. It didn't in the demo, but I would highly doubt it does. It seems like it would be a weird game to have PvP in. But that could actually be a fun thing now that I think about it. Like PvP with those controls could be kind of fun, but I don't know. Do any of the other games that it kind of looked like have PvP? Are there cooldowns for it? Yeah. Everything, there's no mana in the game. It's just cooldowns. They might change that. They were saying they were going back and forth on if they should have mana or cooldowns, but right now it's cooldowns instead of mana. Did Wyatt cry after? I don't think so. I didn't see him though. There's a game like that has 3v3. It's King of the Fighters ones. Okay. So it'd be cool if they had PvP in it. I think that could actually be a fun feature just to like, But if it's pay to win in PvP, well then I wouldn't want to play it anymore. Why it looked like he was going to have a breakdown. I mean, like I said, that's got to be a tough spot for him. Because his job is to go out there and give a good presentation on it. And, it didn't get a great reaction. And so it's when you're up on a stage trying to present and everybody's, quiet or there's some booing or whatever, like, that's unsettling, man. I would have a breakdown too if you guys booed me the whole time I was trying to talk. Hey, guys, Guys, come on. There's no boot. We don't need the boost. Come on. Why are we... Do we have any questions? You guys have phones. Everybody has a phone, right? Alright, I wonder if the scrap of comic series would have any connection. Oh my god. Not an April Fool's joke, guys. Oh man. Man. It's tough. They said before BlizzCon no big Diablo announces this year. Well, they said get hyped, kind of, and then they said, whoa, chill your hype a little bit. We still have some things coming out, though. And then, you know, that was it, so. How long did you wait in line for the demo? I didn't wait in line. But that's because I went to the media place. They have like a special place in the press room where you can just go play everything, and so there was no line for any of that. But also at the main place, there wasn't lines really either for it. Maybe for a little bit of it. I wasn't like watching the Diablo booth the whole time, but when I walked back after a couple hours, there was like a lot of open stations, so. Unless you have a newer phone from this year, it won't run on it. Yeah, it's Android 7 Plus, right? Play it on emulator on your PC. I just think it would be hard to do that. With a controller, I think you would, but with your PC, I think it would be tough. Did I meet any other Diablo streamers? I don't think so. I got to see a lot of StarCraft streamers. Pig and Vibe and Livabee and lots of, I love the StarCraft community. Some Heroes of the Storm, Warcraft 3, but I don't think I saw any Diablo streamers. But I don't know who was there. Riker? I didn't get to meet him. I don't know what other Diablo 3 streamers are there. I saw a couple people there was a girl named Pamela who did Facebook streaming. I met her, and she was streaming Diablo, but I don't think she was like a Diablo person, just like maybe more variety, everything. Grubby was there. Yeah, I've met Grubby before. I've met Quinn as well. I didn't see Quinn. I've met Grubby before as well, because both those guys were at Gamescom a couple years ago when I was there. Bloodshed? I don't even know who that is, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, Quinn wasn't there, he was at home? Okay, got it. I guess that would be that's a pretty far travel for not a lot of Diablo news there. Need some hot tea and sleep, yeah. Well, tea would just keep me up. I just need to drink hot water now or something. That sounds horrible, actually. I'm gonna go blow my nose in a second. Okay. Crip actually promoted it. Yeah, the way he said it was really weird too. He was like, "This is Diablo Immortal is what it will take for people to actually see how great mobile gaming can be." It was a really weird way to promote it. I don't really know what was going on there. I mean, Riker was in the middle of an interview with them. And that's the other thing. Like, once again, I've said that before. Um, I really do like the Blizzard community managers and all of those guys. Like, they really are. They're really great. They're really nice to us. They're really cool people. We've gone out with them and oh, let's go get drinks and food and blah 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 blah. Like, so nothing against them at all. They are fantastic. But so you're gonna just joined. Thanks, H Tamer. Yeah, it's tough. Not a huge fan there. Not a huge fan. Was that you and the Cute Dog pick? Are we friends? Yeah, me and Cute Dog are good friends. I've been up to Chicago twice now to go visit him. The first time I actually went up to Chicago, I didn't even know what Cute Dog's real name was, and he didn't even know what my name either. I literally just had like a horrible week at work. I was so stressed out. I went to the hospital because I thought I was having a heart attack because I was so stressed out that I was like having all this pain and everything like that. And so I called him, or I sent him a message on Twitch like that Saturday or Friday or whatever it was. And I was like, dude, can I come visit you? Like, you said I could come up to Chicago sometime. Like, oh, you should come up, Was that a real offer? And he was like, yeah, man, whenever you want. What are you thinking? And I was like, how about next week? And he was like, oh, yeah, sure, okay. So I just flew up there, took a random Uber, met him in Chinatown, Chicago. And then we walked up to each other, and he was like, hi. And he goes, I don't actually know what your name is. I was like, oh yeah, it's Alex. I don't know what your name is either. And he was like, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he likes his naming out there. And I was like, oh, nice to meet you. Anyways, all right, let's go get food, and then I'll go stay at your place and stuff. So. Oh, I know, Fluffy. I know. Would I prefer D4 over a D2 remaster? Oh, yeah, for sure. And I love D2, but I think a D4 would be, I think it'd be cool to move into some new space like that. And then we kissed. That's right. Super juicy. Thank you, Lichman. Free to play action absolutely means transactions too. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna monetize it, and we'll see how that goes, and that's that. Oh. What do I think they'll announce tomorrow? I don't think anything. I mean, they said they're just going to talk more about the game and some of the areas and, like the Forgotten Tower and stuff like that. Am I still attending tomorrow? No. I was leaving anyways because I have a wedding to go to. So I'm flying out tomorrow morning. The hate train is too strong. Be careful. Sorry. If they weren't upfront about how it's going to be monetized, they're probably not going to make most people happy. Yeah, I'm very curious about that. Yeah. No, they didn't kick me out, guys. I'm not getting married. I'm going to a friend's wedding. You saw Bale in the end of the trailer? I guess it'll be Diablo 2 Monsters and Bosses. Oh, really? No, I'm sick. I'm not emotionally devastated. I'm just sick. Am I going to play WoW Classic? I don't know. I never played any World of Warcraft before, so that could be like a cool time to get in it. But it still does require the subscription fee, and so I don't know. It might be fun to play it for a little bit though, but I don't know. I don't know. We pay that for you. Oh, thanks. They said there's a Q&A tomorrow. They need to make a point no one show up. I'm just very... I'll be very curious to see the Q&A video. You know? Yeah, the demo is really laggy and stuff, a lot of people said. They already had that one Q&A session, exactly, and it didn't go great. So, like, what's tomorrow's gonna be after all of this stuff? I don't even know. Like, will they actually take questions from the audience? Or are they gonna just plant? I don't... Are they just gonna give answers the whole time? I'm not really sure. But I imagine it would be awkward if they took questions from the audience again. Thank you, Boing You. Scripted questions tomorrow? Maybe. I'm crying. This is tears of yawn and stuff. My goodness. Best mobile game out there. It's just an AS game for you. I know like, there are literally tens of millions who might get to you. Don't like it. Let's move on. Yeah, exactly. Like, it could be lots of fun. Who knows? It's just, I'm not a big mobile gamer. So, to me, it was a game that I'm not going to play very much at all. And that's the sad thing. And I think that's the sad thing for most of us. Doesn't mean the game's a horrible game and whatever. Just means we're PC people and big Diablo people, and that's where we're disappointed. So, yeah. Making it Diablo IP is, that's the tough part. I'd like it to just be new IP, but then I guess, I don't know if they wanted to make a whole new IP just for that, right? It's kind of easier to take current IP of something and give it that spin, and it makes kind of sense to take the Diablo IP for it, so that's it. When's bedtime? Probably pretty soon. I gotta wake up early for my flight. Where can you find me tomorrow? Oh, I'm sorry, Juice. I'm not going to be at BlizzCon. I'm leaving right in the morning. I had a flight already booked out, or I had a wedding already planned that I said I'd go to and all this stuff, so. Sucks. Sorry, Juice. More excited about the new lore than the actual game? Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear more about it. I'd like for it to, be something that they dive more into and stuff. Because there is that whole time period between D2 and D3 that doesn't really have a lot of lore, so. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, like I said, maybe we'll play some more PoE here and there, you know, until Diablo 4 gets announced. Diablo 4 is being developed. It's locked, dude. Dude locking his car over and over again. Diablo 4 is being developed. So beep 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 beep. So that's not a problem. It's just when, right? They don't even have a release date on Diablo Immortal. That was the craziest thing to me. They came out, gave us Diablo Immortal, and then when they said, when can we expect to play this? The guy said, when we finish? How do you not have an answer for when it's going to be done? Like a projected schedule of something, you know? Did they just start like a month ago? I mean, well, you know, you would assume for something like a mobile game that's, you know, kind of a smaller, they could say, you know, we're planning on. I know they're not the ones making it, but like, they should be able to get that from the company, especially a company that has already built 4 games that are very similar to this or whatever, right? They should be able to give a timeline and say, hey, we're going to have this ready in a year from now or whatever. So, if they don't even have a timeline for that, I mean, obviously the Diablo 4 team is going to be a different team. But I just don't know. I mean, that part confused me. I would definitely say. I figured they would have had something there, you know. I figured they would have had a timeline more built, and so now I'm just, you know, and then they can delay it obviously, but they didn't even have like the first piece of the timeline. So that was confusing to me for sure. So, thank you, Kildren. Will they announce Diablo 4 you know, in a year and then give a 2-year, 3-year timeline on that? I just don't know. I just really don't know. That was definitely a confusing part to me, was how little answers they had for the questions at that time. Oof. Man. And Kildren with another gifted sub. Thank you. Diablo 4, not another Diablo 3 expansion? No. They're making Diablo 4. That is, you know, if that's not true, I'm 100% done. But I believe that is still a truth. It's out there. It's gonna be a couple years at least until we get it. But I totally believe Diablo 4 is coming. Totally believe that. All of them keep hinting at it. It's not like one little thing. They're hinting at it on the Twitter. They're hinting at it on their forums. The developers are hinting at it of, you know, other games. Wyatt was hinting at it. Like, every single person has hinted at Diablo 4 being a thing. So, you know, I don't see how it's how it could be. Half-Life 3. No, it's coming. There's gonna be some Diablo 4. I subscribed to one franchise. Why not moving on when you're done with Holy Grail and speedrunning? Well, like I said, maybe I'll go play some PoE for a while. I like the PoE community. The devs in PoE are awesome. GGG is amazing. There's a lot of new content coming with it. You know, like maybe I'll play some PoE for a bit and we'll give that a try. You know, Torchlight Frontiers, when that comes out, maybe we can do some Frontiers. And of course, maybe we can just keep playing some Diablo 2, because at the very least, you can't take my Diablo 2 from me. And even if you think you can, you can't. Because it has single player offline mode. So you can't just shut down the servers and I'm boned, you know? I can always play Diablo 2. But it's definitely nicer to play Diablo 2 when there's hope of an eventual like jumping point, kind of. It's not my favorite Zakutsu. They'll take it from me at some point. That'd be so sad. Next D2 patch, online only. Yeah, but then I just won't upgrade. Like, I'll just stay offline. I'll just stay offline. Did I fly out for BlizzCon? Yes, I did, Mr. Good Cat. Yeah, I flew out of DFW. You probably saw me just picking my nose on the couch or something. How's the hotel? Dude, do you guys want a hotel tour? This is like the best hotel ever. Holy cow. Alright. Close your eyes, everybody. Don't look yet. Welcome to Mr. Llama's hotel. Look at this. I got a kitchen. Full-on kitchen right there. Now watch this. I got this whole like mansion of a living room out here. Check that puppy out. Alright? I got this nice curved couch. There's a little TV over there. And then we get to where the loving happenings. You gotta be careful. Got the nice bed with all my Wendy's and garbage. And then some other stuff there. Little dresser. Put some doodads in. We got our bathroom over here. Check that puppy out. Pretty good sized, room for toilet and whatnot. And then check the shower out. We got like a legit. So sorry, I must have lost a few frames in the live stream. So it's a pretty baller hotel. You guys just got a lot of neck or something there. I apologize. It's a pretty baller hotel. I cannot lie. Blizzard comment? No, I took care of that. Some chest hair, sorry. How's the water pressure? It's great. It's great. Lots of frames there. Apologize. I should have gone a little slower. I apologize. But yeah, this is one of the nicest hotel rooms. I have my own like whole living room, kitchen, the bed is nice, and my room's spacious, and a good sized bathroom. Top notch, man. Shouldn't this be IRL instead of D2LOD? Well, we're talking about Diablo 2 the whole time, so I don't know. No, I mean, this is... I booked this hotel myself and stuff. This is all me. Blizzard just gave me a pass to go into BlizzCon and for free and stuff. So, just chatting. Yeah, I probably could be there as well. Like I said, we were talking D2 the whole time. Or, I guess, D-Immortal. But... oh, man. Yeah, I would totally live in this hotel. This, like, hotel room is sick. I would totally live here. All I need is, like, a desk to stream at somewhere. Oh, man. Sweet life of Mr. Llama SC. That's right. Just don't use a blacklight. Not a huge fan, Envy. Not a huge fan. And better internet? Well, yeah. I would need a little bit better internet. Honestly, it's been okay. I've only dropped 2% of frames. Best Diablo Immortal speedrunner ended up here. Rip. Ever imagine yourself in a room like this? What? Sure, I don't know. Oh, sorry, Lieutenant Smash. All I need is a phone now. It's true. Cute dog with 15 light years. Mwah, we were just talking about you. I just told the story of how I came to visit you. And we didn't know each other's names. Diablo Immortal Pog. Y'all got some room in that PoE space? Y'all got a little more room for another streamer in there? Did I tell him about the towel? No. Cute Dog didn't have a spare towel. Like, I took a shower, and then I was like, Cute Dog, there's no towels. And he goes, oh, I don't have any extra. Here's a roll of paper towels, though. And he handed me a whole roll. He said, you can use the whole thing. I said, wow, thanks, Cute Dog. I feel so honored. Who only has one towel? Kildren, thank you so much. Yeah, the whole roll, pretty exclusive. I was spoiled. Spoiled by the Cute Dog for sure. So, he was like, I don't know, I don't get out and I don't have a lot of guests. And I was like, yeah, it seems like it. Gamer life. Thank you again, Kildren. But I love Cute Dog. I love him. He's great. I need to go visit him again. When are you going to come visit me, Cute Dog? How about that? I've got spare towels, too. You can have your own nice plush towel. Who doesn't have multiple towels for themselves? Cute Dog. That's who. Cute Dog doesn't. Did he dry out the used paper towels for his next guest? Yeah, I'm sure he did. He used those for cleaning up later, you know, as napkins. Pretty much, Freet. Pretty much. Come to my place, I got towels. It's a good pickup line. Oh, man. It'll be on YouTube, my initial reaction and everything. I'm going to upload all that. Activision's the new Primeval in the next Diablo installment. Seems right. Oh, you've got D2LOD in the title of the stream. Well, we're talking about Diablo Immortal, Dr. Blade. Talked to David Brevik. He's kind of hyped since he loves mobile games. He said it was just a bad time and place. I mean, it's fair. Personally, I don't like mobile games. I think a lot of the people here don't like mobile games. I think it was a bad place for it because nobody at BlizzCon really, we're all PC people really, and bad timing because of 5 years of waiting. This is the first thing that they bring out. I 100% think that they botched it. But like I said before, I think it's totally fine if they just released a mobile game at some point, and just said, okay, well, yeah, we're also going to do this on the side. Cool. Good. We don't care, but that's fine. You do that. Like, it's just when they hyped it up or brought it out and where they put it in BlizzCon and all that stuff, it was just everybody was expecting anything but that. Anything but that. And but like I say, it'll probably do all right in the massive mobile market overseas, and that'll be great for them. So I can't blame them for making it. I just don't like how they presented it. That's all. Yeah, it just got treated like the next AAA release announcement. Exactly. That's the biggest letdown of it. Thanks, Woodpecking. I use Live Split Baked. Like the Command and Conquer punch in the face. Oh, don't bring that back up. Ugh. Yeah, even another Diablo 3 expansion could have been released here. This just didn't seem like the thing that you were supposed to release. That's all. That is all. How was BlizzCon? I mean, it was fun other than that, I really liked watching the StarCraft 2 WCS or BlizzCon, whatever, Round of 8 stuff. That was really fun. I loved watching all the Terrans lose every single proxy 2 racks that they did. Just because that's been the most annoying thing in the world. It's just so tiring. Like, come on. Play a game, build your buildings in your base. Why does every single thing have to be proxies? So, yeah, RIP Special. Cyril looks really awesome. TY looked better than Rogue, but blew it by kept trying to proxy stuff. And Maru blew his everything by trying to proxy every game as well, so. Oh well. Oh well. Warcraft 3 remaster looks cool. Sarah's games were closer than the 3 I would suggest. The first game was weird. That one was the closest. Game 2, the Nidus wasn't really close to doing a lot. Like, it was weird because he didn't quite commit enough, it felt like, to the Nidus play. And so Cyril just kind of was ahead from that point on. And even though that game took a while, the whole time Cyril was always ahead because he always had better tech and all that stuff. And then game 3 was kind of close, but Cyril was just a better player than Dark. Thank you, Chief, for the sub. Cyril was just a better player. I think that was the biggest thing. Like, he was always in 3-4 places at once. It reminded me of Stefano a little bit. And obviously the playstyle is very different nowadays. But I remember so many Stefano games where they would seem even, and then Stefano would be all of a sudden he'd have like four roaches at every base while also dealing with the main army. And so he would just snipe like 30 drones and tech buildings and constantly burrow and tunnel claws all over the place. And the opponent, I mean, nobody could deal with it. It just destroyed every other Zerg because it was just so hard to always be in every spot that he was. So I love watching a Zerg that's able to do that, and he definitely was. Kildren did, Tev. Kildren did. Yeah, Stefano was a roach god. He really was. He really was. Did we get bad RNG with the Diablo announcement? Yeah. We rolled a -3 on our D20. 6. Yeah, it's supposed to be the piece between D2 and D3. So it's 2.5 or whatever. I'm very curious what tomorrow will look like for that Q&A. Very, very curious. Or love D2 remastered, deeper, yeah. Yeah, exactly. They 7th made the announcement. Any idea why they kept that last segment for D3 light? None at all. Like I said, my thought was that they had Diablo 4 lined up for it as well, and then they had to pull out of it. That's my only guess. And so they ended, they were just left with that piece and it was already scheduled. But we'll see. Rogue Philu? He's pretty decent with his Zergling micro. They could just made the opening shorter. They were late as is. Yeah, that opening went really late. That was crazy. Agreed, tacos. Sorry, Thunder. That's my best guess, Mr. Peacocks. There was just some setback in D4 and then they couldn't announce it, and so they had to just go forward with what they had. And they, so they couldn't do the double reveal. Enigma for 29.99. Did I try the cereal? What? No. Could have shifted the slots around. Yeah. I mean, I think they probably had things already way too scheduled out. Right? There were so many things going on at the same time, concurrently and stuff, that it might have been a bad move to try and do that. They already did shift it around a little bit. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because it was a whole new game. So, everything else with either a remaster or just adding a hero or, some new cards, whatever. This was like an entirely new game, so I think that's why they might have done it, was it's like, this is a brand new whole on its own thing, and they were hoping that maybe being between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, people would be really hyped up for whatever it is. Because, beyond it, this is a pretty light BlizzCon. There's not really a lot of new stuff that came out of it. So. Oh, man. Oh, man. for applause. All right. It's 12:30, guys. I feel like we've exhausted the topic at this point. I have to wake up in like 6 hours to go to the airport. So, yeah. I'm going to go to sleep and then I will be back. I'm not going to stream tomorrow because I'm going right to the wedding. Clayton Kogi, thank you for the sub. But I'll be back on Sunday. I will be back on Sunday, and we'll be streaming on Sunday as well. So, we'll do some Diablo 2 or PoE then. Let's see Quinn's reaction. Or listen.
No! No! No!
Oh, good. Oh, sir. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be theatrical, of course. All right, guys. I'll see you Sunday. Peace. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one.